Okay, so the recording has started and we are good to go. Over to you, Ravindra sir.
So good afternoon, everyone. As Rashmi pointed out that we are going to talk about two certificates from ASCM. One is on supply chain planning and other one is supply chain technology certificates. So these are very important hot topics in supply chain. Uh, so this is instead of doing the entire certification, which is a big syllabus. These certificates are small certificates, not too big. 20 hours of study time. It does not take a long time of yours. And of course, at the end of that, there is a exam, which is, you can take it yourself and you get a certificate. So these are different than certifications. Just let me go through the entire thing. If some of you have attended my previous session that was on supply relationship management. Initial some of the slides you may see as a repeat, but later on, what I'm covering on the supply chain planning syllabus, what it contains, and supply chain or technology certificates, what it contains. That will be quite interesting for you, right? So let's start without wasting time. Uh, So ASCM, as you all of us know, was formed in 1957. Okay, so very old. I think it's about 67 years old organization. And it was initially formed as American Production and Inventory Control Society. And later on, because of the word American and production, they thought that, we will change the name to its abbreviated name, which was known very popularly as APIX. So for a long time, this association was known as APIX. And after 2014, a supply chain council, which was an independent association, that got merged with APIX in 2014. And then there was another association, which was much older than even APIX, called ASTNL, American Society of Transportation Logistics. That also was merged into APIX in 2015. And recently, this organization renamed itself to be more relevant name as Association for Supply Chain Management in 2018. But it still retains the APIX as a brand within the organization because many people still know APIX as APIX for very well. So I think that has a lot of brand value. For 60 years, from 57 to 2018, 61 years, APIX has kept its name, so they do not want to dilute that. A little bit more about the association. This organization, the association, is not for profit education association. This offers certification programs, training tools, networking opportunities for the purpose of increasing workplace performance in supply chain. Right. So the idea behind the entire association is that by increasing the capability, knowledge of individuals, eventually the organization will benefit and organization will perform better. That's the whole idea behind that. And the mission of organization is to advance end-to-end supply chain management. You can access the website. It's www.ascm.org. You can access the website for more details. If you're interested in having more details about ASCM, you can access the website. So there are 4 certification programs which are offered by ASCM. Now, I will not go into, sorry. I will not go into greater detail, but I'll just read out the name. So the oldest one, the first one that was launched in 1973, was certified in planning and inventory management, CPIM. And I happened to pass CPIM in 1985. And there was one more certification added in between, which was retired, called CIRM. I have not mentioned that name here. Certified in integrated resource management, and that was retired. In 2006, one more certification was launched called Certified Supply Chain Professional, CSCP, and that was launched in 2006. And I passed that certification in 2006. Apex launched a new certificate in 2016 called Certified in Logistics, Transportation and Distribution. And I again passed in 2016. And then one more certification was launched in last year in 2023, that was certified in transportation for supply chain, right? Certified for transformation in supply chain. So that is CTSC, that was launched in 2023. So these are 4 certifications. Now we differentiate between certifications and certificates. And today I'm going to talk about certificates, not about certifications. So certifications, as you can see, has a title CPIM, CSCP, CLTD, CTSC that you can put in front of your name. So it's like a qualification, like a degree, that if I may say, so it's like a degree. But we don't call it degree simply because this is not issued by an academic organization. This is issued by a professional organization. So we call it certifications. Then we have certificates, not certification, certificates. And certificates are a knowledge-based supply chain certificates. These are small certificates, does not cover a big syllabus like CPIM and CSCP and CLTD. We don't cover very large, syllabus. These are very focused topics, very focused topics. So that is the reason that we call it certificates. These are all self-study program. I'm going to go in more detail, but before I go into more detail, right now we have 6 certificates in our kitty, in our chain. Okay, that is a supply relationship management certificate. There is one on supply relationship management, and this detail I covered in the previous webinar that I had. Another one is supply chain planning. Okay, supply chain planning is one. Supply chain technology, supply chain resilience, supply chain warehousing, and supply chain procurement certificate. Right. So these are 6 certification programs that I have. So just hang on, just give me a minute. I need to take a small sorry about the interruption. These are all certificates with world-class education, and they offer you in-demand expertise, quite flexible, so you can take at your own pace, own speed to advance your career. You can select which one you want to take first, which one you want to take next, and so on. The benefits to you are career advancement, also credibility, also stay current. Sometimes many people have asked that, why don't we have a course on technologies, new technologies, the new advancements. And therefore, we thought that it will be very appropriate to introduce these certificate programs, okay, that can cover the latest and the greatest knowledge, body of knowledge. Yeah. So the way these certificates work, that you can select the topics of your interest. As I showed you, there are 6 topics, there are 6 certificates. Depending on your requirement, you can select whatever you would like to select, enroll into it, and complete the self-paced program. And we also give a training, along with that, so that if you have any questions, doubts, it can be interactive and you can ask questions, you can clear your doubts and so on. And then prepare for and pass the exam. So there is an exam which is built into the online content that we have. And once you pass the exam, you can display your badge on LinkedIn profile, and somewhere else if you have, you can display your badge. So this is, as we said, is online program, self-paced program, and roughly about 20 hours of education. So depends on how much time you can spend and how do you want to break up this 24 hours into 1 day, 2 day, 20 days. All entirely depends on you. Whether you want to do it every day, whether you want to do on weekends. Again, it's all up to you. In addition to that, you have access to flashcard, video clips, some practice questions, and a little bit more. So there's a lot of content which is there inside. Additionally, it is supported by 8 to 16 hours of training. So that training is done by us. And then you have, at the end, you have an online comprehensive final exam. And when you pass the exam, you earn your certificate and a digital badge that you can display on your LinkedIn profile and even within your email signature. And parallelly, you also earn 20 certification maintenance points upon completion of this program. So let's say if you are CPIM certified or CLTD certified or CSCP certified or CTSC certified, you will earn 20 maintenance program. As you know that in 5 years, you have to accumulate 75 maintenance points. So 20 points can come from the certificates. Each certificate, each one. So let us talk. So is there any question before we start? Okay, I think we'll take the questions towards the end, and you can type your questions in the chat box if you have any question, or you can raise your hand also. Either way. Okay, so let us start with supply chain planning certificate. So this certificate actually, what it does, it helps you to understand the flow of planning from top to bottom. At the top level, we have business plan, and then we break down from strategic plan to tactical plan to operational plan, and then at the execution level, so we try to get to all levels of planning. Link business strategy to company plan. So that's how we link the business strategy. Contribute to production and control activities, which is part of the execution function, really speaking. Interpret and manage master production schedule, which is operational planning. Interpret and manage the material requirements plan. Again, there is operational planning, more for raw materials and packaging materials. Determine order and reorder points. So that also is part of this planning, especially for independent demand items, indirect material. Create a channel tree designed for distribution system. So also we need to have a distribution planning. In supply chain planning, we also have distribution planning system. So we talk about distribution planning system also. So direct material planning, indirect material planning, distribution planning, we cover all areas, right? And identify any technologies to support synchronous planning. So this new concept about synchronous planning, we try to cover the technologies that support that. The modules. So this is broken down into several modules. 6 modules to be more precise. The first is explaining what is synchronized planning. Second is about strategic planning, business planning. Third is about strategic planning, demand planning, and S&OP. And then Tactical planning, that is master planning. And then operational execution, purchasing, production activity control, and advanced planning and scheduling. And then you have distribution logistics planning. So I think all aspects of plannings are covered, right? And if we go to table of content, more detailed one, the module 1, which is saying what is synchronized planning. So we talk about planning, we talk about manufacturing planning and control system. We define what is synchronized planning. We define additional digital information technology for supply chains. So these are the contents of module 1. Module 2 is about business planning. So we talk about market and technology variables in business planning, planning horizons, synchronized business plan hierarchy, how does it work, other tools and techniques to support synchronized business plan. So that's what is module 2. In module 3 is all about demand planning and forecasting and so on. So we talk about demand planning. We talk also about sales and operations planning, SNOP. A newer name of sales and operations planning is IBP. So we cover that also. Module 4, we talk about tactical planning, that is master scheduling, MRP, capacity management. So we talk about master scheduling overview, the master scheduling process, material requirement planning overview, the material requirement planning process, capacity management, and closed loop planning. So we talk about all these topics related to master scheduling, MRP, and capacity management. So if you are working on an ERP system, if you are using an ERP system, ERP system is built on this model only. So the basic model behind an ERP system comes from ASCM. Module 5 is about execution, operations execution, where we cover purchasing and production activity control and APS. So we have these 3 topics: purchasing, production activity control, and advanced planning and scheduling, APS. Right. So these are the last module is on distribution logistics planning, where we talk about the role of distribution supply chain management, the channel network design. So from both point of view, how the order is routed. So how the order is routed and how the order is fulfilled. So what is the fulfillment path? Then we talk about inventory planning. We talk about warehousing, about transformation, about transportation, and then information system. So all these 6 modules covers the entire supply chain planning. So a little bit about exam pattern. So like what I covered last time on supply relationship management, this also has the same type of exam pattern. So online exam, not proctor. So there is no vigilier. So there is nobody who's watching you. You are giving exam all by self. There are 72 multiple choice questions which are there, and you have to answer those 72 multiple choice questions. And as you know, there are 6 modules are there. So there are 12 questions from each module. So totally 72 MCQs. Passing percentage is 70%. There is no negative marking. There is no penalty for giving a wrong answer. And the exam duration is 2 hours. And the results are shown immediately. And if for whatever reason, if you are not able to pass the exam, okay, you can prepare again go through the entire study material that is online available to you, and you can take the exam after you have studied the whole thing again, revise the whole thing again. Now, how many times you can revise, how many times you can give the exam, there is no limit as such, okay, but best is to clear in one go, in one iteration, and that is the best thing to do. Now, when we actually give the package, So we have a package. I mean, I'm not aware about the price that I think our team can help you with, but then in that package, we have membership, ASCM membership for 1 year, access to the LMS, the learning management system, where you access the entire content of supply chain planning certificate, access to flashcards, video clips, practice questions, 12 hours of online training. Again, this is online, yeah, and then exam assessment. So this is all the content of the package that we provide. Last slide. This is the badge that actually looks like. Okay, this is the badge that you can post on your LinkedIn. You can use in your email signature. Right, you can use on any of the places, both the places. Are there any questions on planning certificate? So I think there were a couple of questions which I see. So one is from Prem. Do we have supply planning? Yes, Prem. So when we talk about material requirements planning, it is actually supply planning. So I'm assuming when you're talking about supply planning, you're talking about procurement, right? If I'm not wrong. Are you talking about procurement?
Hi, sir. Yeah, it's not only about procurement. We have other thing called safety stock planning and
Yeah.
yeah. So all these things, constraint planning. Constraint planning we have right already. So
Right.
I'm
So
mostly the supply side.
yeah, so this is part of the, this is already covered in this certificate, in the material requirements planning.
Thank you.
All right, yeah. Very much covered, yeah. Any other question before we go on to the next certificate?
Hello, sir.
Yep, please.
Yes, sir. Could you please tell us about CCP, Supply Chain Professional as a PICS?
Okay,
It will be the
I think
next.
Bashir, that is not the agenda here, but definitely will have someone help you, with the CSCP and give you all the details that you will need, Bashir. Not a problem.
Okay.
Okay. Yeah. Sorry about that, but
Thank
I can't cover here, but we'll definitely help you with the details. Yeah, if anybody is wanting other details, you can contact our team through email, through WhatsApp, through phone number, so you can do that. So I'm here to cover these two certificates, one on the supply chain planning and then technology. All right, let me go on to technology now. Okay, so explain a little bit about technology, about the next certificate, supply chain technology certificate. So I think there is a lot of talk about technology, right? I mean, we are talking about IoT, 3D printing, autonomous vehicles. There are a lot of videos that you may have seen for the, Amazon's warehouses with a lot of automation in the warehousing. Robots, we're talking about. I mean, I think cloud and these have become very common topic, but AI ML is being talked about. A lot of talk is going about AI ML. So we try to introduce certificates which are relevant to supply chain. So what is the idea behind this, this particular certificate? You will propose innovative solutions to common supply challenges. We are not intending to make you a technical person, a programmer, or something of that kind. We just want you to appreciate what these technologies can do and how they can help supply chain management, right? And therefore, we evaluate the benefits and risks of various supply chain technologies. So as I think we all know that technologies are making disruptive kind of changes in supply chain management, starting from 1950s. So today, everybody is talking about digital supply chain, and though the name has been, I think, created new, but we have been making supply chain digital slowly, step by step, since 1950s, 1960s, right? That is the time we are doing. So we have been taking baby steps every time. We have created a lot of disruptions in supply chain management, the way the businesses run. But this is not enough what we have today. So we are going to do more and more and more and more and more. So we should not be under the impression that whatever technologies we are using, probably are the end or the best, or there's nothing going to be after this. I'm sure there's going to be much more after this also, and the world will keep changing, right? So the idea is to make informed and reliable decisions directly affecting overall supply chain performance. And we should be able to use technology as a competitive advantage. Okay, so as we know that, the leaders who adopt technology first will actually gain, and they will create a lead. Others will have to follow. So what technologies we are talking about it, we will have to use it one day or the other. The only question is, are we going to be the leader or are we going to be the follower? That is the only question. I mean, we have to use technologies. So we'll talk about some of the technologies, which are 6 technologies we'll talk about, very important ones. There's a lot of talk about blockchain, right? And some of the case study which have been talked about on blockchain about IBM and Merck's logistics. Advanced analytics and automation, right? So there's lot of focus on analytics. So I think that field also is very important, good and hot. Automation, as I said, there's a lot of automation that is taking place. IoT, Internet of Things. Again, this is not anymore a technology of tomorrow. IoTs have been introduced already. Of course, the size of the IoTs is not a microchip like, it's big, a little bit bigger. So maybe in the future, the size will reduce, the power consumption will reduce, but IoTs are already here. There are a lot of trucks, containers, ships, everything being tracked online real time using IoTs. So that is already happening. Cybersecurity, I think, is a very big topic. I think not only in supply chain, but everywhere in the world. So I think if we all know, we have seen the importance of cybersecurity in the war. So Israel blew up all the pagers and the walkie-talkies. They've got into the network in Iran. So I think this is all part of cybersecurity. So it can happen to anybody. It can happen to you. It can happen to me. It can happen to our supply chain. Also, there was about, when we talk about autonomous vehicles, there was also a fear that what happens if someone gets into your network and starts driving your vehicle or takes you a different direction. So I think that all the threat is there. There's no doubt about that. So cybersecurity is very important. Demand planning technologies. I think one of the very big challenge is to estimate demand more accurately. That is a very big challenge. More accurately, you're able to estimate the demand in the future. More is your supply chain streamlined, okay, is much better. So I think so that has been that has remained the challenge. Even with advanced technologies and more data, we are still struggling with accurate demand planning. We are still struggling with that. So I think this is where we expect the technologies to help. And then additive manufacturing or 3D printing. So this 3D printing also, I think prototypes are already there. Some prototypes are being created, is being used in medical field. There are prototypes even in construction industry, manufacturing industry. So there is a lot of advancements in the material that is going to be used to print to do 3D printing. So I think this field also is also important. So we're going to cover these 6 modules, course modules. So let me give you a little bit detail about each one of them. So first we talk about blockchain. So we talk about what is blockchain, types of blockchain, advantages and disadvantages of blockchain, how it gets implemented, what are the advantages, what are the disadvantages of using blockchain. So again, the idea is not to make you a programmer or something, but just to appreciate what this technology can do. And as you know, this technology has come from the digital currencies, like Bitcoin. So it actually started from financial world, but even supply chain management is found this useful. So we'll see how this can be used in supply chain management. Module 2 is on analytics and automation. So what is this field? What is these topics? What are the various methods? How you mine data? How do you store data? How do you handle security, artificial intelligence, and how to go about selecting new technologies and implementing new technology, especially in analytics and automation. Then IoT, I think this is already is not something futuristic, is already happening. So IoT, Internet of Things. So actually it provides visibility and track and trace. So track and trace, I think we all have been wanting for a long, long time, and IoT is making it possible. So what all technologies are needed for IoT? For example, IoT will require some sort of sensors, some sort of a GPS system, satellites, cloud, internet connection. So a lot of things for IoT to make it happen. We'll talk about IoT infrastructure. Then there is also concept of digital twins to be able to do simulation, to be able to see impact of something. If make a change, what is going to be the impact? So we can use a digital twin, which works like the real model. Okay, and you can do experiment on that, prototyping on that. Then IoT in business segment applications and challenges in implementing IoTs. So these are what we are going to cover in IoTs. Then cybersecurity, as I said, what is cybersecurity, how it is governed, risk assessment, management and mitigation. What is enterprise cybersecurity education, how employees should be educated, network access control, monitoring methodology, redundancy, firewalls, anti-hacking technology. So much is there in cybersecurity. It's a very, very big field, very, very big field, right? But we'll cover it in an overview. Of course, we can't make you an expert on cybersecurity. Then we have demand planning technologies. So the importance of demand planning technology in supply chain, essential steps in forecasting demand, forecasting methods used in supply chain, the future of demand planning, reliability of forecasting, and role of demand planning in inventory control. So I think This is very important because forecasting accuracy we would like to improve as much as we can. If forecast accuracy is high, our supply chain management will become easier, bullwhip effect can reduce, safety stocks will reduce, working capital will reduce. So I think there's a lot of benefit if we can forecast accurately. Module 6 is on 3D printing. We call it additive manufacturing also, because you keep adding layer by layer. It's a sintering process. So you have a sintering process, like you have the what do you call inkjet printers, something similar to the inkjet printer. You keep on creating layer, and then you keep on do sintering, and then that layer by layer, when you manufacture, it's called additive manufacturing. Implementing additive manufacturing in supply chain. Challenges of implementing additive manufacturing: when to use and when not to use 3D printing. So it's not a solution for everything. 3D printing is not going to replace mass manufacturing, but maybe it can replace creating models. So I have seen one person, one place where 3D printing was created, and this was in jewelry manufacturing. In jewelry manufacturing, the prototype or the model, initial model. So if you know jewelry manufacturing, there is a wax tree, and wax tree requires a master. Okay, and so that master printed on this 3D printing, and then taken, and then So if you make a drawing on the CAD system, on computer-aided design system like AutoCAD, okay, so you can connect that the drawing to the 3D printer, and 3D printer will print the drawing, the 3D drawing, and from that you can make a this wax tree, and then you can cast your jewelry items. So the same exam pattern, no different than supply chain planning. Exam is online, so even the entire study that you have to do is again online. An exam also is online. Is a non-proctored exam, so you can take it from home, office, anywhere. You can take from anywhere, anytime. 72 multiple choice questions, 12 from each module that we have. 6 modules are there, 72 questions. Passing percentage is 70%. No negative marking. If you answer any question wrong, there is no negative marking. Exam duration is 2 hours. Results are given immediately. And as I said earlier, if you're not able to pass the exam, you can revise the entire content. You can study again, and again you can give the exam. And there is no limit on number of attempts you can study and take the exam. There is no limit, so you can take the exam till you pass. And then the package that we have, as I said, includes membership, access to LMS, access to flashcard, video clips, practice questions, 12 hours of online training, and an exam assessment. So this is all included in the package. And this is the badge that you get after you pass supply chain technology certificate, which you can put on LinkedIn profile. You can put on your email signature. In your email signature, you can attach this. These 2 places you can do. So this shows that you have passed the technology exam. Quite interesting. Very, very interesting. Very, very valuable. Thank you. So if you have any questions, I'm open to taking questions.
Thank you, Ravindra sir. I request everyone to either post their questions in the chat box or you can unmute yourself and ask the questions to Mr. Ravindra Tulsian.
Or if you want, you can unmute yourself and ask question. So I think Prem wants to know, how do we get printed material? You mean the raw material, or you want to know the technology? Raw material comes in the powder form. It could be
No, this about the exam, sir. Do we get like how we get for CSCP and
printed
CPM? There is
material.
a
Okay, exam material. I was thinking.
yeah, exam
Sorry.
material.
I was thinking about 3D printing. Printed material. No. You don't get printed material, but you can print yourself. If you would like to print, you can print yourself. So this is purely online. There is no printed material that you need to receive or ship. This everything is there in your LMS. So we'll give you LMS access, and you'll get all the materials. There. There are no hard copies. Yeah. Any other question?
Sir, I have a question. Can I ask?
Yes, please.
Sir, I wanted to know if this ASCM certificates are only for professionals, or a student or somebody in his final year, or they're just out of college, they can do it, or is it only meant for professionals in the industry?
No. ASCM certificates can be done by anybody. Anybody. I mean, from supply chain field, from non-supply chain field, students, software professionals, from manufacturing industry, from logistics. I don't think there is any prerequisite, or I would not say that this does not suit this professional and suit this professional. There's nothing like that. So it's actually quite open to all, and certificates like technology certificate will be useful to anybody and everybody. Anybody. So I think I would say that everybody will get to benefit from the certificates.
Okay, sir. Thank you very much.
Hello, sir.
You're welcome. Yeah. Yeah,
Yes,
Rashid.
sir. Sorry, just I need your some suggestion regarding the certification, sir. Just I did MBA in supply chain management, and I also did postgraduate diploma in supply chain management. And currently, I'm working as a supply chain manager with the international NGO. I have 50 years of experience, sir. So just I want to need your suggestion that which certification is better for me to be international professional is in a supply chain. So I need to want to grow my international as I just work in NGOs. I work a lot in NGOs, international NGOs. So which certification you guide me to take as a to be more successful in supply chain?
So for NGOs, I mean, there is nothing specific. I mean, we have had a lot of people from United Nations, who are into what we call emergency response, like pandemic handling, where they have to distribute drugs, healthcare, there is public health, where,
Yes, sir.
the distribution of, medical help is a concern, very big concern. So those, I mean, this is probably because of United Nations approved score. The score I have not covered here. Approved score framework as the, and so some people have done score, certification, which is equivalent to CTSC today, CTSC. But for the supply chain management, different models, I would need to understand what your NGO does. I think we can take a separate call So unless I know what your NGO does, what functions it covers, and I'll be able to help you with the certificate, because these are differently. I mean, there are different topics. What CPIM covers is from procurement till production. What CLTD covers is from finished goods till distribution. What CSCP covers is managing the entire supply chain from mother nature till consumer. What CTSC covers is how to transform your supply chain from current state to a new state. So these are 4 different focus. So depending on what you do, where your focus is, what is your future plan, where you want to grow, in which field. But just quickly telling you, if you have 15 years of experience, maybe you need to look at more strategic level, and CSCP is more at the strategic level.
Yes, sir. Okay. Thank you, sir. The teaching method of this Conex, is it online, sir, or just
Online,
we will have LMS?
online.
Online.
I think
Means in a
before,
week 1 class.
in week we have 2 class on Saturday and Sunday, 2 hours each, 1.5 to 2 hours each. Before COVID, we used to do physical classes. But after COVID lockdown, we were forced to do online. And after COVID pandemic was lifted, we again try to do physical classes, but people are not interested anymore in physical classes. So they're happy with online. So I think we'll continue online.
Okay, thank you.
You're welcome.
So with respect to planning, sir, we have a dedicated course certification for that as CPIM. So
Right.
the planning content with respect to contents covered there and what we cover here in certificate course. So what level or details that we might not get that much detail as CPIM. So in that perspective, how broadly it is covered? Can you give me some info on that, sir?
Yeah, CPIM is more deeper, is much more deeper knowledge. Okay. So if you are looking for a deeper knowledge, CPIM will be good for you. It's a commitment, long commitment, because syllabus is very big. I mean, of course, if the knowledge has to be deep, the syllabus has to be big. So syllabus is very big, that more topics are covered, more details it is covered. You may have to study, depending on your background, between 80 hours and maybe some people have to study, I think 100, 120, 200 hours also. So it depends on, it depends on that. Whereas, this supply chain planning certificate gives you a lot of good end-to-end visibility or overview of how planning works. And so somebody who wants to get familiar, so they can do this supply chain planning certificate.
Thank you.
Any more questions you have?
So I think nobody has any more questions. So can we wind up, sir?
Yeah, we can wind up. Thank you so much.
Yeah, so thank you for walking us through the ASCM certificate and a wonderful introduction between certification and certificate. It was really nice of you to mention that as well, sir, because many people would definitely not know about the difference between certification and a certificate. And it definitely makes our work more easier now, since that you have explained everything in detail. Also covering the entire modules of technology and planning and explaining how it is helpful for the industry. and what effect it's going to bring to a person's profile as well. Thank you very much for a wonderful insight. And thank you everyone for taking out your precious time and joining us. This is our last webinar for this season, and we are coming up with new topics for our next season. Just in case if you have some topic in mind, something that you would want us to cover, we would be very glad to include that topic as well. So you can mention either in the chat box or you can mail it to us, call us. We are always available. Thank you everyone for joining again, and thank you Ravindra sir for taking out your time and giving us such wonderful insight about ASCM supply chain planning and supply chain technology certificate.
Thank you very much, everyone. Thank you, Rashmi. And can you please take Bashir's contact, Mr. Bashir's contact, and please help
Sure,
him with the
sir.
CSCP certificate.
Sure,
Right?
sir. Sure, sir. Definitely, sir. Thank you very much. Have a great day ahead.
Thank you. Have a great day.
You.
Thank you. Bye-bye. Bye-bye. Bye.